Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our morning market update for Friday. It's not Sunday yet. I don't even know where I am. Friday, June 16th of 2017. It's George Papazov. Welcome. We're in Nicaragua, beautiful Nicaragua, and spending some time here next week in a bit, trading and surfing. Got the surfboard over here in the corner. It's a longboard. All right, this is kind of where we're at. Decent view. It's a little rainy today, but the rain's a good opportunity to get a free car wash or a free shower, whatever you prefer. Um, Today we got a lot to talk about. Okay, guys, we'll take you through a lot of events. Today's a really important day. One of the days that really has an opportunity to bloody up traders and leave them out hanging out and dry. So I'm going to warn you, today's an exceptionally difficult day to trade, and I actually do not trade on this day. So I'm not placing any trades for one reason. I'll tell you about it in a second. First, in Asia, Japan's up 0.6%, Hong Kong's up 0.2%, China down 0.3%, India down 0.1%. So all in all, we had a bit of a bullish start to the session. Then it slowed down throughout the middle of the session and carried over into Europe on a positive note. London's up almost 1% at 0.7%, Paris up 0.7% as well. Remember, there's an election out in France this Sunday. Macron looks like he's the favorite to win the entire election, and Frankfurt up 0.3%. Okay, futures in the S&P here are up 0.1%, Dow up 0.1% as well, Nasdaq up 0.2%, crude 1.1%, the clear winner here. Back to 44.95. We said that 44 would be a good support level if we broke below 46. And we got some inventory reports that shocked the market this week, and that's why it sold off pretty briskly. But then we rebounded as well, and I think we're going to see some choppy trade here, some double-sided action. It's going to go up a little bit, go down a little bit, choppy, sloppy, and not really much opportunity. But you could always find a trade. All right, happy Friday, Dave. David says happy Friday. Happy Friday. All right, gold is up 0.3%, up to 1258. We said 1250 to 55 would be a great support level, and we said that with our group a couple days ago in the morning, and there it is. It's bounced right off of that level. Today's economic calendar, you got housing starts at 8:30, Atlanta Fed's business inflation expectations at 10, consumer sentiment at 10, and 1 p.m. we got the Baker Hughes rig count. All that really tells you the Baker Hughes rig count is how much oil is being produced out of the United States. I could tell you this number, 26 weeks in a row of increasing production. So I'm willing to bet that it's going to be a 27th week in a row as of 1 p.m. It's not going to be a shocker unless it proves something different, at which point the trade will actually be positive for oil. If we have less oil rigs out there producing oil, it's better for the price of oil, and it should go up. But don't count on it. This is the 26th or 27th report today in a row that could have increasing production. All right. Let me just check on the comments here from the group just to make sure that they're taken care of. I take care of my people. You guys don't understand how important Trade Pro family members are to me. All right. Today is quadruple, and I don't know if I said it right. If anyone knows Spanish, let me know if you understood what that means. Because if you don't, then it's my fault. It means quad witches. I just said 4 witches in Spanish. Today's quad witching day. It's very important. It happens once a quarter. Really important for you to make sure you know what it is and what it means. All right, today's date, it's stock options, stock futures, the second one, index options, and index futures. Those 4 expire at the same time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, that's your quad witch. It's a very volatile event because when options expire, there's a theory out there called max pain, and the max pain theory suggests that the option prices expire at the levels that cause the maximum amount of losses for the maximum amount of participants, aka max pain. You should be familiar with that theory. If not, quick little Google will reveal what it means, and I'll write an article about it today. Okay, I promise that if you come back by market close, you'll have what quad witch means, the theory behind it, and I'll back it up with some stats. Here's what you need to know. At expiry, there's a lot of portfolio repositioning. Imagine being a massive hedge fund that owns a bunch of long futures or long stock index, S&P 500. And suddenly you shorted some calls and the price floats up around those calls. What happens? Well, you're going to either have to buy more futures to hedge your calls or buy in those calls at a loss. And that's why it creates chop. It'll go up against a resistance. It'll look like it breaks it. Whack, it comes back down. Or somebody either sells the futures, buys the calls, buys the futures. It just basically a whole bunch of balancing and leveling out between the market. the delta as well, gamma hedging on options. There's a lot of activity. What it tends to be is a non-directional day. It tends to be a sideways range trading day. And what you'll see is it'll run up to a high, make it look like a breakout's coming, and then it gets faded. Same to the downside. So start out with a range trading day, and then if it proves to be a actual trading trend day, then switch to that, and you'll know that. It's better to start off expecting a range and then building up your confidence for a trend versus starting expecting for a trend, getting bloodied up, and then it's just a range. Okay, I haven't done well historically on quad witches. Some of my biggest losing days are there, so I stay away from them. I'm not going to place a single trade today. I promise you that, because that's just part of who I am and what I've decided for myself. Doesn't have to be like that for you. I'm not trying to scare you away from the market. It just ain't for me. All right. Plus, to be honest with you, my opportunity cost is high. It's raining out here today, but it ain't going to stop me from firing up the surfboard and jumping in head first into the waves. Okay, today, President Trump is expected to announce a revised Cuba policy, all right, which would stop the flow of U.S. cash to the island's military. So it's moving away from a more cooperative relationship between Cuba and the United States. All right. While trying to maintain diplomatic relations by U.S. airlines and cruise ships, yada, yada. He doesn't want to disrupt existing business deals like one struck by Starwood Hotels. You know, at the end of the day, you might not want to do something, but your action speaks louder than your words. Stocks to watch for based on this Cuba policy are CUBA, JBLU, AAL, DAL, ALK, CCL, NCLH, and RCL. All right, rewind that and write them down. Most of them are airline stocks. Okay, that's what's going to be impacted. Okay, the Bank of Japan this morning kept its interest rates on hold. They're negative. That kind of diverges from policy in the United States. U.S. is tightening their monetary policy and raising interest rates. Meanwhile, the Bank of Japan is keeping them low, so low that they're negative. All right, that's where they're at. Bank of Japan's been trying to get out of this low interest rate environment for over 20 years and hasn't been able to do it. All right, it's almost like 23, 24 years now. It's ridiculous. A lot of economists believe that the model for what's going to happen in the United States is similar to what's happened in Japan, because they already have 25 years of history. So that gets a little scary. That's the fiance in the background. Say hi. She said hi. She said happy trading. I'm not trading today, so it'll be happy for me. They're pledging to keep their asset purchase around the current target of 80 trillion or 727 million won. So not only do they have low interest rates that are in a negative environment, they're also stimulating the economy by purchasing bonds on the open market on a monthly basis. So she's in the background there. Yeah, no, go for it. You can do what you got to do over there. Just don't do the bunny ears, and I'm happy. All right, that's Japan. So Russian defense, we're going to move on to this topic. Just got a mosquito on the back of my head. The Russian Defense Ministry today revealed that they may have actually killed the leader of ISIS at the end of May. All right, so it's interesting how the United States says, we got to take action. We got to defeat ISIS. We got to do this. There's reports circulating out there that Russia did already do it. All right, Russia's taken out the leader of ISIS. It's yet to be confirmed, but it's getting out there. It's making the rounds, so keep an eye out on that. They went out and did it. I remember last year when the United States was saying, we need to have an airstrike. We need to cooperate with our partners. Russia went out and wiped out a crap ton of targets within a week with their airstrikes. If you want to take somebody out, you will. Remember that. If you want something so badly, you'll end up getting it. Yesterday, we also saw the United States slap some new sanctions on Russia. Their investigation is now expanding out to Jared Kushner and some of his financial dealings. All right. They went to Deutsche Bank and tried to get records from Donald Trump. They're scattering all over the place, and it's great to put sanctions on a country that isn't cooperating or there's something that poses a threat or imminent danger. But when you have no evidence that you've released and you place a sanction, all is good and well, but there better be some hard concrete evidence. Otherwise, placing sanctions on countries without evidence is highly irresponsible. All right, it has a lot of fallout. It's a globally connected market. It could be a very dangerous thing to do if you just do it for the sake of it. This sanction needs Congress approval to remove, so it's not one of those sanctions, hey, I'm just going to do it. It's a more serious thing, so watch for that to unfold. There's some tensions out there, some more political tensions. They're not getting any better, right? North Korea keeps firing missile tests, and there's I don't want to freak you guys out, but there's a theory out there developed that North Korean missiles explode midair. right? And then the United States says, wow, look at that, their tests failed. Well, the test failed if it's a surface to land missile, which means I want to fire the missile and target something on the land there, and it comes and crashes and takes it out. That's a failed test if it blows up here. Now, if they want to launch a rocket and explode it outside of the ozone, if they want to explode it into the atmosphere, what they could do is spread particles to block out satellite communication, which would effectively lead to a blackout or energy blackout across the coast. So the saying out there is they're not going for firepower to land because they can't take out that much land. They know that. They don't have as many nuclear missiles. If they do have any at all, they don't have as much strike power. But what they could be doing is targeting for an explosion up in the air to take out communications. All right, imagine losing the power grid. I would say that's probably just as bad as any other kind of strike. That's why it's starting to get serious. All right, you guys have a good time trading. It's 9:11 a.m. We got about 20 minutes open. I got to get my crew up and running. Got to get the Trade Pro family up to speed and ready for the open. Look at some levels. We talked about quadwitch, but the laptops. Right? You guys are a bit of a head shake there. We talked about quadwitch, but do you know how to find the levels? There's a specific way to do it. Trade Pros are going to do it in 5 minutes. I'm going to launch an options platform, and I'll show you guys how to identify supports and resistances for the days. All right, for today. YouTube, farewell. I hope this was great. I hope there was no connectivity issues. Pretty good here. So we could look forward to more of them next week. Take care. Have a phenomenal weekend. Trade the quadwitch. Verifully. Don't put big positions out there. One of my 2 favorite tips are, number 1, reduce the position size. Okay, so if you're trading 5 lots, go 3 maybe, go to 2. And then my number 2 rule for quadwitches are to decrease my profit expectation. So I'm going for 9 ticks, 10 ticks. On a day like today, I'll go for 8, I'll go for 6. I'll take them often and quickly off the market. Okay, smaller size, smaller profit targets that would hopefully equate to more probable wins. I just got a nasty fly here. Any questions? I guess you guys can ask questions, or can you? I don't know. Put it in the comments box. I'll be there to help you. Take care. Check out our 2 packages, Day Trader Pro package. We trade in a live room daily. Our Options Pro package is a weekly newsletter and daily emails on trade ideas. Take care and have a phenomenal day. I'll catch up with you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend as well. Ciao.